Have you ever tried to motivate yourself to go to the gym or to start that diet? In most cases, what was the result? The result is that the motivation runs out and you stop. At some point, maybe it takes a week, 2 weeks, a month, 3 months, 6 months. Something happens in your life and the motivation just dissipates or disappears. And then you're left feeling helpless and hopeless that no matter what you try to do with your body or your health, you just can't get there. You're just stuck. Well, I want to talk to you about motivation because I believe that motivation is actually the problem, not the solution. You see, motivation doesn't last for long, and there's a reason. Now, I've got 3 items of fruit to try and illustrate what I'm trying to say. Let's imagine that the orange is how people start. All their clothes are tight, they're feeling overweight, maybe their body shape feels like an orange, and they just know that it's the worst shape they've been in. They've never felt so unhealthy, they've never felt so desperate to change it, right? But that desperation builds up so much that one day they just have to do something about it. They look so terrible, they see a photo or a video of themselves on Facebook or Instagram or wherever it is. They avoid social situations and all of their clothes are tight. They get to the point, that tipping point where they have to change it. So motivation is at its highest in this state. So they decide to join the diet. They buy the book, they hire the personal trainer, they go to the gym, they start, right? And a week, they've lost 4 pounds. Fantastic. 2 weeks, they've lost 6 pounds or 8 pounds in great examples, right? So all of a sudden, they're smaller and they're feeling a little bit better. They're feeling a bit slimmer, feeling good about themselves again. Some people have said, you lost a few pounds, you're looking well. Nice. They get that compliment, they get the little kind of high in the brain and it starts to feel good, right? But what they've done is they've moved away from their first condition. The first condition was what motivated them. The clothes feeling tight motivated them. Not wanting to be in the pictures motivated them because they felt so unhappy with how they are. All of a sudden, as you've lost the weight, your desperation is just a little bit less. And so is your motivation to continue. Now, some people persevere and they continue to lose the weight. They get more compliments and it feels good. And all of a sudden they're a little bit smaller like this potato. By the way, I'm not condoning consumption of potatoes. Just a side note, I'm just saying that this is all I had in the fridge. And as you can tell, it's old, not used. This potato represents the weight that they've lost. Now they've moved so far away from their original condition, from the overweight orange, they've moved so far away from that feeling of desperation that their motivation, that desperation is gone. And all of a sudden, something kicks in life and they don't manage to maintain the habit of health and fitness. And they return all the way back, slowly but surely, to consuming those foods, to not going to the gym, and to gaining the weight and starting all over again, back to the orange. You see, when we rely on motivation, it may last a couple of hours, a couple of days, even a year. But at some point, motivation will let you down. The thing to establish is a pattern of behavior that keeps you healthy and keeps you in control. For example, you don't have to motivate yourself most of the time. I'm sure on a night out you might have to, but motivate yourself to brush your teeth or to put on your shoes before you leave the house or to get dressed. You don't have to. It's inbuilt into you, right? It's in your head. When you find the right pattern of behavior that you can maintain in your life with exercise, whether that's doing 3 minutes or a walk every morning, and the right diet that you can stabilize and enjoy through your life, so having the right breakfast, a couple of options, the right lunch, a couple of options, the right dinners, and just repeating that. On Mondays, having set foods. On Tuesdays, having a new set food. When you establish a pattern and you repeat and you repeat and you repeat that pattern, you build strength towards that pattern. Does that make sense? You're building that pattern in your head so it becomes habitual and part of your life. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is have a pint of water. I don't even consider anything else. I don't have to think about it. I know my body needs hydration. At that point, I start my day the right day, no matter what time I wake up. You see, when you build habit, you build strength and you build longevity. When you're relying on motivation, it's highest at the beginning, but then it just goes down the further you go and the more weight you lose. Motivation is not the solution. Establishing patterns of behavior that build habits, that is the solution. Hope that helps.